Monday today, and unfortunately my load has been cancelled for first thing on the Monday, which does happen in this line of work because everything is so fast paced and I never know what I'm doing from one load to the next. Loads get taken on and cancelled really quickly. Someone's phoned in sick, and as always, there's always work to do. But I got something a bit different to do. I put my card in and record my weekly rest over the weekend. Then I take all the stuff that I might need out of my truck and put it into the rigid. After that, I can get on with the daily checks, and everything is looking pretty good to me. So one of the lads that I work with got injured over the weekend, and this truck is preloaded for Plymouth. I am going to be a bit late because it's all a bit last minute, but I'm going to do my paperwork and I'll be on my way down. Right. Luckily, I have plenty of fuel, so that's one thing that I won't need today. But right, let's get on with it and get down there. Oh dear. I make my way down the lane and out onto the main road, where I come across a bit of traffic. Not what I need when the load is already late, but it looks like things are getting moving soon. Then I'm out onto the M5 and down the A38 towards Plymouth. When I get there, I realise that the entrance is very tiny with low-hanging trees and I'm not going to get in. And they tell me that the best way to do it is over the hedge. Luckily, they have a telehandler for the job. I've opened the curtain and unstrapped all of the pallets and taken off all the internal straps. This is quite a slow process as the operator needs to lift the pallets quite far over the hedge, and he also has limited visibility due to the hedge being in the way. Because I've not done a lot of this type of work, I'm constantly questioning myself as to whether I'm doing everything right or not. I did let the guys there know that I'm a little bit rusty on this type of work, but I did resist the urge to tell them that I am normally an Arctic driver, as I always think it's a bit of a cringy brag when I've heard other people making the point. Eventually, all the pallets are off the truck, so I can shut the curtain and breathe a sigh of relief that I haven't embarrassed myself. With that, it's back to the yard, and as much as I've not really enjoyed this experience, it's nice to know that if you had to do something, you can. And actually, I think the most challenging part of this job was driving a rigid when I'm so used to driving an Arctic, especially when reversing. I'm heading back on the same roads that I came down on, back to the yard. Well, all I can say is I'm glad that's over, so I'm going to go and put my card back into my truck and then find out what I've got planned for the rest of the day, hopefully. I reckon I might have to drop the blower trailer, because I've got the blower trailer on at the moment still, and pick up my trailer wherever my trailer is. When I put my card back in, I just do a manual entry to confirm that I have been on other work between trucks. Well, I've gone to find out what I'm doing for the rest of the day, and I am going to a quarry, so I will need to swap the blower trailer. So I pull my trailer down to the trailer lineup so that it's in with all the spare trailers, rather than just dropping it willy-nilly up the yard, meaning someone would have to move it later on if it's in the way. Then I begin to unhitch my trailer, and as you can see, I have a scar on my leg, which I did at the weekend. I was carrying a bin liner out to the bin, and there was some broken glass sticking out the side of the bag, which sliced my leg. To be honest, it didn't really hurt that much, but it was just more of an inconvenience that it was bleeding so much, as I was very busy at the time. But anyway, it's a lesson learned, and I'm sure I won't do it again. Once I'm unhitched, it's time to pull it away from the trailer, drop in the air as I pull it away so that it doesn't flick up at the back, and then I can reverse onto my trailer, which is only a couple of trailers down the line. I reverse back onto the pin until it clicks, and then I give it a couple of shunts forward to make sure it is definitely on. The first thing I do is check the pin and put the safety clip on. Sometimes this is not the easiest thing to do, especially when you're short. Then I get on with hooking up my Susies, my tip pipe and my Anderson lead. Someone commented and asked what the Anderson lead was for, and it's for the electric sheet. They are also handy for if you have a flat battery and you have another truck nearby with an Anderson lead connection, as you can jump start the battery off of the Anderson lead. Then I get the legs wound up, the number plate onto my trailer and the brake off. And then it's time for my second walk round check of the day. I will also fill out another page of my daily checks book for this walk around check. The only problem that I can see with my trailer is that it's dirty after not pulling it for 2 weeks. Well, that's me all hitched up, and I've just been up to the office to download another app on my phone for another company, because now a lot of companies want you to do everything via an app, and it makes it really complicated and hard work, especially when you drive most of the time and don't have anywhere to park to pull up and press all the buttons on the app that they want you to press. But we have to do it, so there you go. Now I'm off to a quarry in Frome to go over to a place called Hook, which is not far off the M3. So I'm back down the lane, out of the yard and north on the M5. And what a beautiful sunny day it is. I can't believe it wasn't like this for the last 2 weeks whilst I've been on the blower. I hit a bit of traffic on the A358 coming up to Ilminster roundabout before taking the A303 down to Podymore, where I pick up the A37 towards Shepton Mallet and then across to Frome. Once I get into the quarry, it's sheet off and beacons on, and there is a queue to get in. I can't film any of the loading or around the quarry, but I can show you that I am going to get a very dirty lorry with all these dirty puddles. I show the loader driver a sign to tell him how many tonnes I want, and within 2 and a little bit buckets, I'm loaded, weighed out and on my way. There is quite a big incline coming out of this quarry, so I need to put in manual to get up the hill. I also need some fuel at this point, so I pop into Nunneycatch truck stop for a drop of fuel, as they have a fuel bunker there. As I'm filling up, I notice something really odd on my truck. As I left the quarry, the wheel wash sprayed my truck with water. But this doesn't look like water. It looks like hydraulic oil mixed with water. Because I can see it running down the side of the trailer, I'm guessing that it's something to do with the hydraulics on the electric sheet. So I find a place in the truck stop and test the electric sheet. And yes, I was right, it is the electric sheet. So I pop up and have a look, and it doesn't look good. I was hoping it was going to be a problem that I could sort myself. I was hoping it was going to be a connection that had just come unscrewed, been a bit loose. But unfortunately, it is a perished pipe by the looks of things. So I rang Bruce to let him know. He was going to get me to the nearest Pertec. They deal with hydraulic pipes, but there's not one that close in the area or in the direction that I'm going. So there is a guy apparently that is doing a job in Glastonbury that works for Pertec, and he's going to come over to me. So he'll be here hopefully within the hour. I'm not sure what the time is now, but it's 4:30, so I doubt I'll get this off tonight even. So today's been a bit of a washout really, all in all. Luckily for me though, the chap turns up in around 15 minutes. He gets straight on with the job and it's done in no time. I was hoping to get on, get tipped, get halfway around the M25 because I'm going to Tilbury tomorrow, but it's one of them things that happens, and that's that. I was trying to get hold of the place where I was tipping whilst my hydraulic pipe was being fixed, as I was hoping that somebody might still be around when I got there. No one answered the phone at the time, but luckily I got a call back, as after hours the landline rings through to the mobile number, and luckily the chap had my number saved from a job that I did a few years ago. After the how are yous and the pleasantries, he explained to me where I needed to tip, and he said that I could stay on the place overnight if I needed to. I literally could not believe my luck, and this has turned a pretty poor day into an actually okay day. I pull up next to the pile that I think it is, but I just get out and have a check just to make sure that it is the right one, as the last thing I want to do is tip it in the wrong place. I am right and it is the right one, so I turn myself around and open the back door ready to tip, and I have a little check in the back to make sure it has been loaded correctly. Then all I need to do is get back in and tip the body up. I decided to tip side on to the bay so I can get close to the rest of the pile without risking ripping my tailboard off. Once I'm empty, I can pull forwards and let my body back down. And of course, I need to give it a quick sweep out. I'm loading wheat feed pellets tomorrow, so I don't want any stone in the wheat feed. Luckily, it has come out very clean, so I don't have too much to sweep out. Then I can shut the door and just make sure that there's no stones on the back of the trailer that could fall off into the road. I pack my brush away, lower the body right back down, and put my sheet back on. Well, that's that tipped. So I'm just going to park here for the night. I've been given permission. It will mean that I will stay under a 13 and I can start at 6:30 in the morning. The only thing left to do now is have my tea, and I have a salad. Again, I know I keep having salads a lot, but in the summer I do love a salad, especially sort of Monday and Tuesday. They kind of last quite well, so I try and get all my veggies in on a Monday and Tuesday. And then the rest of the week, well, you know. There are a few people that I've met in the last month when I haven't been filming that I would like you to meet. So I'm here in Banbury today, and this Plymouth driver would like to give his son a shout out.
Big shout out to Matthew. Hopefully you'll see this soon and keep going at school.
I've just pulled into the services and I've seen Trucker Junko.
Hey guys, how are you all doing?
He's got his own YouTube channel. He's been giving me loads of really good shout outs on his channel, so go and follow Trucker Junko. Into the services for a coffee, and I've met Darren from Fifth Wheel. His lorry is just over there. Oh, no, there.
Yeah, there.
Just over there. So we've had a bit of a chat about YouTube and different things, so go and follow him. I'll put his link in the description.
It's a handle.
I'm still new to this.